Hey, I'm Denny Chapman, and welcome to The Gun Show. Today we're featuring the Colt King Cobra 357 target revolver and 2A news with Jared Yanis. Remember, guys, you can always go back and watch this whole episode after the fact on the Gun Show YouTube channel and on excluded.com, spelled XCLUDED.com. Make sure you check it out. Hit that button and subscribe there as well. And thank you for your engagement. Hitting those buttons, we really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. You are helping to set a positive 2A algorithm on social media, and you can help right now by simply dropping a note in the comment section and let us know where you're watching from. All right, guys, let's kick things off with some 2A news from my buddy Jared Yanis, also known as Guns and Gadgets. Check this out.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Kind of a bittersweet day here. I am officially retired as of this morning. So I haven't really been active for like 2 years now because of my injury, but it's kind of weird when it's the day's finally here. So I'm going to do a quick little video here. I got my notes on my screen. This is about the hearings, the confirmation hearings for Supreme Court Justice nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson, so she was asked yesterday by Senator Chuck Grassley. Let me get his quote. I want to get it exactly right. He said, "Do you believe the individual right to keep and bear arms is a fundamental right?" And her response has everybody kind of like keen to listening here. First off, before I give you her response and who it sounded like she just mimicked, she hasn't had the opportunity to rule on a Second Amendment case while she's been a judge in the D.C. circuit. She's on the appellate court. Her quote, her response to Senator Grassley was, "Senator, the Supreme Court has established that the individual right to keep and bear arms is a fundamental right." No, the Supreme Court doesn't establish our rights. And if you have somebody who's looking to go in with that type of attitude, that's absolutely dangerous, not just for what we are here on this channel for, the Second Amendment, but if someone went in saying that the First Amendment wasn't fundamental and that it was, established by a court, I think we'd be paying attention, and we should be. Let me give you some quotes here in addition. She said, "As a sitting federal judge, I am bound to apply faithfully all binding proceedings of the D.C. Circuit and the Supreme Court, including all precedents that pertain to the Second Amendment individual right to keep and bear arms. If I were to be confirmed to the D.C. Court, that obligation would not change." Kind of guarded, like a cookie cutter response there. The NRA said this about her and her response. "Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson has never affirmed that the Second Amendment protects the individual fundamental right of all Americans to keep and bear arms for the defense of themselves or others." The Firearms Policy Coalition also noted that her response was very, very similar to that of Justice Sonia Sotomayor when she was in her confirmation hearings, and we know how much she hates the Second Amendment. She ruled against the McDonald decision. And this is, it's obviously, this is a pick by Joe Biden, so it's going to be an anti-gunner anyway. But this is a lifetime appointment, and she's rather young. Another thing I want to put out there again, it's from a quote from the NRA. It says, "Consequently, the NRA is concerned with President Biden's decision to nominate her to the Supreme Court of the United States at a crucial time when there are vital cases that will determine the scope and future of the Second Amendment and self-defense rights in our country." And that's important. We have the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association case decision about to drop, which she's not going to be able to have anything to do on that case because Breyer isn't retired yet. It'll be after they put that case, the decision will come out, then they'll go on break and Breyer will officially retire. Sorry, my hands are shaking, just left the gym. But we also have the magazine ban cases before the court. We have the assault weapon ban cases before the court. There's a lot of stuff there. And this could drastically change what we had as far as a positive outlook for the cases that were before them. So Let me know what you think down below. One other quote for you, and this came from Everytown for Gun Safety, and this will tell you a lot. It said, President Biden has governed as the strongest gun safety president in history. That translates to the most unconstitutional president in history. And we have every confidence that Judge Jackson will employ a mainstream common sense reading of the Second Amendment. That was John Feinblatt. Well, our rights are not supposed to be made to a mainstream common sense reading or understanding. They are the way they are written. It is not a document that changes. They are the rules, black and white. Guys and gals, pay attention. I know most of us are. Some of us think, yeah, you know, it is what it is. They can't do this because it's unconstitutional. Well, they're doing it, and they're going to have to be stopped one way or another. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe, because that's what the Second Amendment is for, Judge Ketanji, not for anything common sense or mainstream.
All right, we want to congratulate Jared on his retirement from law enforcement. Thank him for his service as a first responder. Make sure you subscribe to Jared's YouTube channel. It's called Guns and Gadgets, and you're going to like it. We look forward to having more content from Jared on future episodes of The Gun Show. All right, we're going to take a closer look at this revolver right after our safety segment. You know what time it is when I hold up these fingers. It's our proud tradition to include the 4 cardinal rules of gun safety in every presentation of The Gun Show. And here we go. Rule number 1, treat all guns as if they're loaded at all times. Number 2, never ever point your gun at anything you're not willing to shoot or destroy. Number 3 involves your trigger finger. That's always going to be your best safety. Keep that finger away from the trigger until you're ready to fire. And number 4 is your target. Always know what's in front, beside, around, behind, and beyond that target. The 4 cardinal rules of gun safety, memorize them, so when you go out and enjoy your Second Amendment rights, you are going to be a safe and responsible gun owner. All right, let's take a look at this revolver. She is a beauty. This is the Colt King Cobra 357 Magnum. Now, after releasing the King Cobra early in 2019, Colt received a ton of requests for a 4-inch model with adjustable sights. Now, this is the 3rd gun in the King Cobra series. The first was the standard model. The second was the King Cobra Carry. It had a 2-inch barrel. And this, of course, is the target model. This is, I'm going to say this is Colt's attempt at taking the King Cobra into the competition space by adding that 4 1/4-inch barrel, keeping that 6-round 357 capacity, adding the adjustable rear sight, and an elevated fiber optic front sight. Now, since we picked this gun up, let's go over a little bit of safety. We always want to double check our guns twice visually and physically. We're going to open the chamber, the cylinder here. You know, I'm used to discussing those semi-automatic firearms here in the show. By the way, our cameras are remote today. All of our production staff's on that side of the room, so we're just safely pointing our gun in this direction today. So we've pulled back this lever right here. We've opened the cylinder. We're checking visually and physically that this gun is empty. Very important, guys, even with revolvers, even though there's much simpler, it's very important to open that cylinder and have a look. We have a really nice wood medallion grip here, and like all the guns in the Cobra series, this gun is forged from American stainless steel. This is a double action revolver with a swing out cylinder, as you can see. Now, the Colt cylinder release is very distinctive, as you can see. As with Smith & Wesson and other revolvers, you push forward on the cylinder release to open the cylinder, but not on the Colt. On the Colt, you're going to pull back and then the cylinder will pop out. It's very distinctive, and as you can see, it requires you to pull back instead of pushing forward. This is the ejection rod. This can be manipulated. I like to manipulate this with my left hand. After pulling the cylinder lever and opening, you can dump those empties. You can dump it in your strong hand. And it's important to become familiar and develop some muscle memory with these guns and learn how they operate. Now, as you can see, it's a 6-shot. It's chambered in 357 Magnum, which will also chamber and shoot 38 special ammunition. Now, the folks that are using these guns in competition generally shoot the 38 special ammo because it's a little lighter. There's a little less recoil. Let's talk about this terminology, double action. Double action actually refers to the trigger. And a double action, pulling the trigger, does two things. After it rotates the cylinder, it manipulates the hammer by drawing it back and releasing it in one trigger pull. Now, single action revolvers require you to manually cock the hammer, and the only single action that they have is to drop the hammer when you pull the trigger. So that's a little bit of the difference between single action and double action. Let me give you a little grip tip, guys. When you're talking about gripping the revolver, it's going to be a little bit different than gripping the semi-automatic pistol, because you have the cylinder, you have a little bit of gap here in the cylinder. Let's go to the B-cam, give them a little bit closer look. I want people to understand the importance and the safety behind this. There's a little bit of a gap here. There are hot gases escaping in this area. You do not want your finger in front of that cylinder when you're gripping. Let's go back to A-cam and we'll show them the big shot here so they can see what we're talking about. So this is the area where the hot gases are coming out. When we're gripping our pistol, our thumbs are generally stacked and lined up, but you see how my thumb actually is forward of that cylinder? That's a bad thing. We don't want that to happen. So commonly with revolvers, we get into the habit of wrapping our thumb over the other thumb here. This helps to complete that grip, give you a really strong grip. It keeps that finger from getting out in front of that cylinder into that hot, dangerous area. Jerry Michalik taught me, and I learned by watching him and some other great revolver shooters, that you want to lock your wrist. You want to get up as high and tight as possible. See how there's a little groove in this grip? You want your hand all the way up as high as possible on that grip. You want to fill in all that surface area with your support hand. You're going to wrap your other hand up and underneath the trigger guard here. You're going to wrap your thumbs. You're going to complete that grip, and you're going to pull that trigger. Let's do a little test here. I've got a penny, and I'm just going to test myself here on live TV. This is a really neat drill. You can put a coin, because the top of this frame is flat, you can put a coin on the top of that frame, and we can practice our double action trigger pull. Let's see if we can do that without dropping that coin. Here we go. We're going to lock our wrist. I'm going to push my hands out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, I did pretty good. So maybe you can try that at home. That's a little tip for you, and a little drill that you can do at home with your revolver. This is awesome. I love this revolver. It's iconic. It's a collector's item, and you can compete with it. Check out the King Cobra Target model on the Big Daddy Unlimited member site. If you're not a member, just hit that link that we provided in the description. You can join BDU today for 99 cents for a 30-day trial membership with full benefits. Access to not only cool stuff like the King Cobra Target revolver, but also 300,000 other Second Amendment related items on our awesome website. We're talking about guns, ammo, optics, holsters, accessories, survival gear, MREs, lots of other cool Second Amendment related stuff. All right, guys, checking my watch because my time is up. We hope you enjoyed the episode today. Have a great day, and we'll see you again soon on another episode of The Gun Show.